Speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark.
Why are only Caitlin Clark's games being moved to the United Center? Angel Reese recently voiced her frustration to reporters, questioning why the Chicago Sky decided to upgrade venues only when the Indiana Fever come to town. The answer might not be what she wants to hear, but sometimes the truth isn't easy to accept.
Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana Fever.
When a generational talent steps into the league and forces teams to switch venues because 10,000 seats just aren't enough, that's more than star power. That's pure economics. The Indiana Fever shattered their all-time home attendance record last season, bringing in nearly 341,000 fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's Chicago Sky is nowhere near those numbers. Yet somehow, she's convinced they're equally driving the growth of the game. We've got all the receipts, ticket sales, and screenshots to break down this entire arena controversy, one that has Angel absolutely fuming.
What looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United Center.
The Chicago Sky just made a major announcement that's shaking up the WNBA world. They're moving only the Indiana Fever games to the United Center. That means both matchups against Caitlin Clark in the 2025 season will take place at the league's biggest stage in Chicago. This isn't just a random venue change. It's a statement, and it speaks volumes. Let's break down what this really means.
When Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect? No. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
What makes this move so interesting is the timing. The Sky played their entire 2024 season at the 10,000-seat Wintrust Arena, every single game, including those featuring their own rookie, Angel Reese. Yet, not once did the team feel the need to switch to a bigger venue. Not even at the peak of Angel's rookie season, when she was supposedly packing arenas, did the organization consider making a move like this. So why now?
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move two of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player. It's because of her.
Now, all of a sudden, with Caitlin Clark coming to town, Sky President Adam Fox is talking about rewarding fans' passion and dedication. In his own words, he said, Chicago Sky fans have always supported the team, and this move is about giving back by bringing the excitement to a larger venue. But if this is really about showing appreciation to loyal Sky fans, why is it only happening for these two specific games? What makes these matchups so different from the rest? One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, is returning to Chicago, the city that embraced her last year. They even threw a Barbie night in her honor, complete with pink towels and fans lined up just to get autographs. So, how will Chicago welcome Caitlin Clark this time around? How do you top Barbie Night in a 9,000-seat arena? Easy. Move Barbie Night to a 21,000-seat arena. The numbers reveal an undeniable truth. The United Center holds nearly 21,000 fans for basketball, more than double Wintrust Arena's capacity. This isn't just about changing venues. It's a strategic business move that highlights Caitlin Clark's star power in the WNBA. And it's not just Chicago making this move. Teams across the league, Washington Mystics, Las Vegas Aces, Atlanta Dream, and Connecticut Sun, are all shifting their matchups against the Fever to larger arenas. See the pattern? Teams aren't upgrading random games. They're making room when Caitlin Clark comes to town. At this point, moving Fever games to bigger venues is the norm. But in this case, it's particularly interesting given the opponent and the reaction from fans. Social media is buzzing with frustration. Many are pointing out that only Clark's games are being moved to larger arenas, suggesting that Angel Reese's star power isn't being treated the same way. Some argue that if Reese had the same draw as Clark, more of her games would also be relocated. It's undeniable. Clark's arrival is changing the economics of the WNBA. Last year, the Fever set a new single-season attendance record with over 341,000 fans, a 36% increase over the previous record set by the Liberty in 2001. The Fever surpassed 20,000 fans in attendance 3 times during the 2024 season. Meanwhile, despite having Angel Reese on their roster, the Chicago Sky never hit that milestone. Not even once. In fact, the highest attendance record for a Sky game dates back to 2016, long before Angel even stepped onto a college court. The financial impact goes beyond ticket sales. Merchandise, concessions, parking, all of it generates millions when Caitlin Clark is in town. This is why the Sky made their move. Last season, many wondered why Chicago didn't host the Fever in the United Center. Were they really willing to leave money on the table just to protect a narrative? Well, it seems they finally took a look at the numbers and realized the truth. Caitlin Clark is box office. When Clark and Reese faced off last season, ticket prices skyrocketed, with resale seats going for thousands. But when Reese played without Clark, demand wasn't nearly as high. Sky home games for next season are still available at bargain prices, while Fever home games have been sold out for months. There's a fine line between hate and facts, and the numbers don't lie. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, the WNBA had seen a 40% growth in viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Clark's presence, it skyrocketed by 400%. Attendance doubled whenever she was on the court, and the Fever drew 36% more fans on the road than any other team. Over a quarter of the league's revenue last season was directly linked to Clark. That's not just star power, that's game-changing impact. This isn't about downplaying Angel Reese's talent or popularity. She has a fan base of her own. But there's a difference between claiming you attract fans and actually packing the stands. As of now, no other Angel Reese games have been moved to larger arenas due to demand. The Sky aren't playing favorites, they're making business decisions. When one player consistently fills thousands more seats, the venue choice becomes obvious. The impact of Clark's presence is undeniable. The Mystics moved their Fever matchup to Baltimore's CFG Bank Arena. The Sun relocated their game to Boston's TD Garden. These aren't random upgrades, they're a direct response to overwhelming demand. Clark even predicted this nearly a year ago, casually noting that playing at the United Center would be great for the game. Fast forward, and her words have become reality. The financial implications are massive. Moving just 2 games to the United Center is expected to generate an extra $4 million in revenue. For a league historically struggling with profitability, that's a game changer. When executives see these numbers, they don't see a temporary boost, they see a long-term business opportunity. And the real question isn't whether teams should capitalize on Clark's star power, it's how fast they can secure bigger venues before other teams do. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's ventures off the court tell a different story. Her participation in the unrivaled 3x3 league didn't break viewership records, and reports suggest she had little impact on audience numbers. The contrast is clear. Clark is forcing venue upgrades across multiple cities, while Reese's popularity hasn't translated into the same commercial success. She may be a great player, but she isn't on Clark's level financially, impact-wise, or on the court. And we saw that last year, when Clark won Rookie of the Year. Fan reactions have been divided. Clark supporters highlight her financial impact, while Reese's defenders claim favoritism is at play. One viral tweet sarcastically pointed out how Angel's games were never moved to bigger arenas when she was breaking records, but the moment Clark arrives, they suddenly need 20,000 seats.